Hello guys, welcome back to the Brutal Investor channel. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day today. In this episode, we're going to talk about a very interesting project which has some of the lowest market caps, and at the same time it has the worst tokenomics that I've ever seen in the crypto space. And this project will be a project that you can still consistently use to make gains on a short-term basis, right? So this is the kind of token that you would be using if you are a somewhat of an amateur to experienced trader. This is definitely not for newcomers, but it's definitely for people who have some form of trading experience and at the same time are willing to take a little bit more risk for consistent short-term rewards. And this token is called CultDAO, or the Cult token, right? And if you watch till the end of the video, I'll tell you how you can find projects like these in order to get some consistent gains so that you can make some really good profits, at least in the short term, till the market is recovering from the bear market or a sideways market, right? So before we talk about CultDAO, I want to talk to you guys about Garrett.io. Garrett.io is a centralized exchange that is known for listing low market cap gem tokens way before they get listed on major centralized exchanges such as Binance or Coinbase. What this means is if you have a Garrett.io account and if you open an account with them, you basically have a chance of using some of their world famous tools in order to make some consistent gains. So they have common functionalities just like any other centralized exchange, such as buying and selling cryptocurrencies, trading, and so on and so forth. But you can also use their platform to earn consistent income through their liquidity program, as well as you can stake tokens with them directly. They're one of the most reliable centralized exchanges out there, and it's also quite undervalued if you ask me, because they have a lot of high quality projects way before they get listed on Binance or Coinbase, right? So you can also use some of the other tools such as NFTs as well as startups. These are tools that are not necessarily available in many centralized exchanges. Startups, for example, it provides you an opportunity to invest in high quality IEOs before they get listed on major centralized exchanges, right? So you can definitely get a lot of value by having a Garrett.io account and by investing a small amount of money in order to do some trades, and also buy tokens or coins before they hit the major exchanges so that you can make some really good profitability in the short, mid, as well as long terms, right? So if you are interested in Garrett.io and if you want to start an account with them, please use the link in the description below, because when you use the link, you get 30% trading fee rebate, which means whatever you trade, you get 30% of the fees back, which means you'll be given an opportunity to buy more cryptocurrencies with the 30% rebate, right? So you can take advantage of that to make some better profits. And at the same time, having an account with Garrett.io, I would personally say, is a mandatory requirement, because if you are in the crypto space to make a lot of money, then this is the exchange that you need to hold an account with, right? If you use the link in the description to set up a Garrett.io account, you are also supporting the Brutal Investor channel, for which I thank you in advance. So going back to the token of discussion here, the Cult token, for the purpose of this video, I'm going to rely on information presented on CoinMarketCap's page for this token, along with the information presented on the website itself. But this is only going to be a peripheral analysis, which means you need to do your own depth research before you put your hard-earned money on this token, right? So what is Cult token? Cult is a tradable and liquid token of CultDAO. Transacting Cult will contribute to the protocol by filling the DAO treasury slowly to fund investments into decentralized technologies. So first of all, this is a very weird protocol to wrap your head around, right? So Cult basically is a liquid token. Okay, this is the token of the CultDAO ecosystem, which we already know, and Cult token will basically enable you to contribute to the protocol by filling the DAO treasury slowly. So the word they're using, slowly, means the more you transact, the faster you will be able to replenish the DAO treasury. So the fees that arise from transactions goes to the DAO treasury. So that's the main focus, and whatever products that they use on their platform, they don't have very many products on their platform, but whatever products you use on their platform, you'll be able to indirectly contribute just by using their platform, because some of the fees that you're using, or a majority of the fees you're using, is actually going to the CultDAO treasury, right? So in order to basically use the funds, they are basically using this as an investment fund into decentralized technology. So what they do is they try to use the fund that they have in order to develop technologies and products for their protocol, right? So that's all they do. It's not extremely unique, or it's not even benefiting the users directly or indirectly, but this is all they do, right? This is achieved due to a 0.4% collection on all cult transactions. So a 0.4% collection on all cult transaction goes to the cult treasury, and that basically is so I think 0.4% of the cult transaction goes to the funding of the decentralized technologies, and that's how they are trying to build their platform. So cult, once staked into the CultDAO, becomes decult. So once you stake your cult tokens into the CultDAO protocol, it becomes a decult token, which is a different token which represents your receipt of being staked into the protocol. Decult is just the proof of stake token for cult. Again, as we said, it's just a receipt. It's kind of like a proof of the fact that you staked the cult tokens. When you stake your cult into the DAO, you are given decult that can be swapped back at any time into the amount of cult you staked originally, plus any rewards that were given to the DAO in the time period you owned decult. So it's a pretty simple mechanism. If you own cult, you can basically deposit in decult. Sorry, if you own cult, you can deposit in cult protocol in order to get decult tokens. And decult tokens is like an interest-bearing asset that earns interest, which includes transaction fees from the protocol. So you earn a portion of the transaction fees, and that's rewarded to you when you convert your decult back into cult, right? So that's a very simple mechanism that they have. CultDAO and its funding process is completely decentralized. So obviously, as the name suggests, they are a decentralized autonomous organization. So it's really good to know that they are a DAO, and all the protocol functionalities that they have is fully decentralized, right? It cannot be stopped. As long as there are people transacting with cult, guardians putting forward proposals, and users voting, CultDAO will continue to fund revolutionaries, decentralized advocates, and those willing to break the chain of society. So they are stating that even though they don't really have any innate, unique product they are offering to the crypto space or Web3 as a whole, they are a protocol that will continue to exist because it's fully decentralized. As long as people start staking and transacting on cult, and people who start using cult as an investment, or people who use the protocol as a whole, the platform will survive, right? A proposal can only be put forth by guardians. These are the top 50 holders. Guardians cannot vote, and so cannot be wholly corrupted by their decisions. These proposals must conform to all or the majority of the three criteria. The first criteria is fight against centralization, further the cause of decentralization, directly benefit a noble cause. So obviously, there's a system called Guardians system within the CultDAO ecosystem, and the Guardian system includes top 50 holders of the cult tokens. But again, these top 50 holders are obviously technically whales. So how can it be a DAO if you have whales, right? So in order to solve that, and in order to retain the decentralization ability, they prevent the 50 holders from voting. So you can't vote if you're the top 50, and thereby all the people who are not in the top 50 will be able to vote if they have the cult tokens, right? So I think it's a really ingenious method of trying to avoid whales. And these guardians, they basically have a unique status because these are the guardians who put forth the proposals that will be voted on by the other token holders, right? So kind of a very good system if you ask me. And they basically fight for decentralization, fight against centralization, and they try to focus on noble causes that are benefiting everyone, right? These proposals can be from anywhere: venture capitalists, community members, politicians, anarchists, socialists, the left or right wing, as long as they conform to the guidance above and it is a guardian who submits it. Any proposal may be voted on by there are many. The proposals put forward must contain certain requirements. So you can see some of the requirements of the proposals that you can basically put if you are a guardian, right? So they're stating that anyone can put a proposal as long as you're within the top 50, and anyone can vote on those proposals as long as you're not in the top 50, right? So those are the main conditions that you can use to understand how the DAO, CultDAO works. They have a burn mechanism. The burn and distribution plan is the vesting schedule for the investee protocol token. For this example, let us use a fake protocol ABC DAO. The vesting schedule can be daily, weekly, fortnightly, monthly, but cannot be vested over longer than 18 months at a very maximum. So they have a vesting schedule. So you have a vesting schedule for a particular token, for their particular token, and if you vest longer, you get more benefits, but at the same time, you can't vest longer than 18 months at the very maximum, right? So this is basically to ensure that you get a chance to sell your tokens if you want, right? Let's say ABC DAO promises 1.2% of the ABC tokens, vesting once a month for 12 months. On the repayment date, rather than sending the tokens of the investee protocol like a normal venture capital funded protocol would do, the vestee company instead swaps 0.1% of its supply, 1.2% over 12 months of ABC for Cult. So what they also have in mind is that they have their protocol which can work with another DAO, and they have a unique mechanism in order to prevent the other DAO's tokens from being dumped all together in the market, and therefore they have the system in place. It's a little bit of a complex system. I'll suggest you guys to read through this yourself. This seems to be a little bit beyond the scope of this video, right? So the last section is basically Cult serves to fast forward the collapse of the old financial system, to end the tyranny of sovereign nations and central banks. The current financial system serves to keep the people poor. A society run on debt needs inflation to function. The inflation serves to rob the poor and allow them to never catch up with their overlords in the ruling class. So here they're giving a background of what they're trying to overall achieve. They're trying to overthrow the current financial system, which several thousand projects that we covered in the crypto space have already tried and failed to do. It seems like Cult is also giving it a shot through their own unique way, right? So they're basically saying that obviously inflation has robbed the poor and has given it to rich, and CultDAO basically tries to make things better in their own unique way, right? So that's basically what they're trying to say. Overall, that's pretty much it when it comes to what this protocol overall stands for. Let's go to the website itself to see what other information they have. So if you go to the website cultdao.io, first of all, they have a very beautiful website. Like, I have to say, I was looking at their website when I was researching this. It's one of the very uniquely beautiful websites that I've seen, which actually surprised me because I thought this website would be pretty crappy, but it seems like they've done a really good job with their website. So you can first of all go to their website and see some of the options that they have. They have a home, token economy, FAQs, manifesto, RVLT rules, as well as other information that you can also access. On the first page, they have the social media information in the bottom right corner. You can buy Cult tokens on Uniswap as an ERC20 token, investing in the revolution. That's their main motto. And if you scroll further below, you can see basically they provide an option to fight against centralization, which is their main focus. And if you go further in, you can also see, for some reason it's not going in for me. You can see that they are having much better visuals as you click and go into each and every level, right? The burning mechanisms, they are burning their tokens, but they have a huge supply of tokens. It will take forever for them to burn a majority of their tokens, but it is something that they still have in place, which will eventually increase their value, the token value over time. But I think it's safe to say that by the time they burn the target value that they are aiming to achieve, it's already going to be too late, because this token is not going to be a sustainable long-term token, that's for sure, right? So you can see the token economics and full distribution of this token, clicking on the token economics button here. I'm not going to go through that because it's not really the scope of this video. You can go through that yourself, because I already know that they have a pretty high supply of the tokens. You can watch this video as well, which will explain to you a little bit more about how the token works and how the platform kind of like distributes value to their users, right? And the final one basically hasn't shown up on my screen, so I don't really know what's happening. But you can go through this website and learn for yourself, right? Overall, a pretty interesting and very risky project, I have to say. So if you are not interested in losing, the money that you are willing to lose, then this is definitely not the token for you, because this is a little bit more risky, and therefore amateur traders can somewhat of an experienced / amateur traders can manage this token, not the beginners, right? So going to the CoinMarketCap page for this token, basically, if you see on the top, it has a ranking of 403rd by market cap on CoinMarketCap, and it's currently trading at a significantly lower price than it's 1 cent, right? It's significantly lower than 1 cent per token, which means the sticker price wise, this token seems to have nailed it, because a new beginner investor looking at this token, they would think that this is a good token to buy, because they probably might be thinking that this token is going to $1 or even $10 per token in the next bull market, and therefore they'd buy this token at this price point. But if you look at the market cap and the tokenomics, you will understand why this token is extremely cheap compared to even 1 cent. This token is currently trading at $0.0000115 per token. And despite this price, it seems like this token is actually up 4.94%, close to 5% increase in the past 24 hours, right? So it's definitely a token that you need to be very careful, because you only want to buy this token when it's on red and not when it's on green, right? If you scroll further below, their Ethereum contract address is given here, which you can use to buy this token from Uniswap. But bear in mind, you need to pay an extremely high gas fees on Uniswap. So I suggest you to focus on reliable centralized exchanges with cheap withdrawal fees, as well as transaction fees, right? If you look at the market cap, it's only slightly less than $50 million in market cap. It still has some potential to grow, but I don't think it'll grow that crazily. I don't think it'll even cross $150 million mark, but it definitely has a chance of crossing the $100 million mark, which will happen in the next few months to a next several months, right? But definitely getting this token to getting this token to $150 million or more would be a challenge. It will happen gradually, but the first $100 million mark can be easily reached in a couple of months, right? If you scroll further below, they still have, as you can see, a good trading volume in the past 24 hours, $6.1 million of trading volume, which is quite good if you ask me, for a token that is extremely cheap and extremely weird like this one, right? If you scroll further below, look at the max supply. The max supply is 6.66666 trillion tokens. That's a huge supply of tokens. It's kind of like the most inflationary tokens I've ever seen in this channel, and therefore I think it's one of the worst tokens with the tokenomics I've ever seen, right? So you definitely need to be very careful. But even for a token with 6.666 trillion tokens, it still has 65% of the tokens already in circulation, which is quite impressive if you ask me, because in reality there's only a little bit of a token, like about 25% of the tokens that are needed to be added to the supply, and then it's pretty much all the max supply is in circulation, which means there won't be any newer tokens that will be dumped into the market that will be slumping the price of this token, right? So all this price action has already been factored in because of the tokenomics, and it's quite impressive that 65% of its tokens are already in circulation, which is amazing, right? But apart from that, that's where the positives end, because this token is a very risky token. If you look at the charts as well, you can see that this token has pumped and dumped extremely hard, and the pumps are really vertical, like parabolic. If you can see this big chart here, this big pump here, and then it has dumped quite rapidly as well. So you need to be extremely careful, because it's incredibly volatile, right? The initial price of this token was 0. Several zeros after before 5.7 here. As of the 3rd of February 2022, it is pretty much flat lined. And for people who bought this token at this price point, kudos to you, because the token reached a new all-time high, and its current all-time high of $0.00007 per token. Even though it hasn't obviously come anywhere close to 1 cent per token, the token gain that it made a lot of people immediately wealthy. And for people who bought this token at that time, kudos to you, because for people who were not able to sell at the time, you literally lost the all-time high peak, and therefore the token immediately would have crashed, reaching a price of about $0.00001 per token as of 5th of January, sorry, 1st of May 2022, and then it kind of went back a little bit and then dumped back down, and then it's quite volatile, moving sideways, occasionally going to a relative lows of about $0.000019 per token, and then now it's kind of like moving sideways. It is kind of going in the downward direction, but it's still quite volatile, so be very careful, right? I think this token can go even lower. Maybe it will go as low as $0.00009 per token. Now it's at 11. It can go as low as $0.00009 per token, which will probably be the best time to buy this token, right? If you are looking to buy this token, be extremely cautious, because you will face some severe volatility. But when it goes up, you can easily sell it. When it comes down, you can buy it again. So you can make some predictable short-term gains, which is why I said that this is a really consistent short-term gainer for people who are trying to invest in this token based on their previous experiences. So if you see, it has made notable peaks and dumps, but a lot of the volatility is because of traders who are trying to manipulate the price. You can definitely make some short-term gains if you know what you're doing, right? When it comes to the markets itself, if you see, this token is available on Poloniex, KuCoin, Get.io, Bybit, and MEXC. Uniswap version 2 is the only decentralized exchange where you can buy this token from on Ethereum. But I think every other exchange you should kind of like skip, because I wouldn't really go past MEXC or even Bybit, right? So this token is getting some good listings in multiple different tier 2 exchanges, but I think you need to be very careful, because some exchanges don't really have a lot of liquidity or volume, but others may have, like I think Poloniex and KuCoin are probably the only exchanges that have some good volume. Get.io, even though it's a good exchange, the volume doesn't seem to be that great, so you have to be careful with that, right? You can also do some arbitrage trading if you're trying to make some short-term gains, but the arbitrage trading will only happen when the token goes up or down in a really short span of time. For now, you can basically just buy and hodl for a very short period of time to make some good short-term gains, right? So what's my final verdict on this token, guys? I think this token has some really good short-term opportunities for people. As I said, it's not for beginners. It's definitely for somewhat of amateur traders as well as experienced traders. If you know what you're doing, you can definitely make some really good gains from a token like this one, because this token is based on hype as well as a lore, which is pretty common these days in the crypto space. So any token that has a lore will pump and dump right away, and will make some short-term gains before it permanently dumps and people move on. So if you are trying to buy this token, go with the intention that you're basically buying this token for an extremely predictable short-term gain, right? You're not going to make a long-term gain from this token. This is definitely not worth it. Don't hold it for too long. Just dump it and come out of it to the next project, right? So I think this token can easily reach as high as $0.0007 per token, which will definitely be a good indication and good profit collection area for a lot of people. But it's yet to be seen how the token moves, and as I said, if you're not really comfortable, don't do it, right? So to tell you guys how I actually came up with this token and how I came with multiple other tokens, you can actually go to search on CoinMarketCap page, and then basically search for tokens that have low volume. If you go to cryptocurrencies, you can see categories, and then you can search for new tokens, which definitely are weird. If you see there's multiple categories here, you can go to derivatives, fan tokens, move to earn, and so on and so forth. You can click on tourism, and you can get a lot of tokens of that category. I think that the category that I went was basically something like a meme, or kind of like a lore based token, which is the category that I went. If you scroll down, you can basically find that there's a lot of meme tokens out there, and this token belongs to the meme category. It had a really good volume, and at the same time it had one of the best performing indicators of the meme category, and that's one of the reasons why I chose this token. Can you make guaranteed money from this token? Again, nothing is guaranteed, but you can make predictable, consistent gains if you know where to buy and know where to sell, right? So that's the technique that I use to buy tokens like this. You can definitely make some really serious money from meme tokens, and therefore this is a meme token that you can definitely take advantage of for the short term, right? Again, remember guys, you guys are not regular investors, you guys are brutal investors, so stay brutal. Thank you very much for watching my video guys. If you like my video, please hit the like button and subscribe for more videos. See you in my next video. Bye.